let's grab a drink and talk about the retro cool Seiko Turtle.
Mountain on top, a fire below, the pressure grows pressure. I feel the weight of a billion years come down on me, come down.
Cheers, I'm John Rittar from WatchSpec.com, and today I want to talk about a very cool dive watch, the Seiko Turtle. This video is going to highlight just the key points of this watch, but I do have a written review over at WatchSpec.com that provides all the detail you could possibly imagine on this watch, so I will leave a link to that in the notes below. Check it out. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel and sign up for notifications so you can catch all my videos when they release. But with that, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, a quick model overview. With this Turtle, Seiko has brought us a throwback to the old 6306 and 6309 dive watches from the 70s and 80s, which are still sought after today. This new Turtle is part of Seiko's Prospex line. It has a very cool retro appeal. It's got a quality automatic movement and is an ISO certified dive watch, which is very cool. It may be a new watch, but this makes me want to go snorkeling with one of those old single window scuba masks. It's just really cool. I love it. Now, there are several variations of this new Turtle. What I'm showing here in this review is the SRP 775, which is the gold and black version, but I'll go through all the other variations through the written article on my website, WatchSpec.com.
I went down, down, down.
Okay, starting with style, retro is really the name of the game with this watch. The general style and dimensions of this watch basically follow the Seiko SKX line, but the case shape was changed to a cushion style to achieve more of that retro feel. Now, because of that, this watch is going to be geared more towards casual or business casual wear, but I'm not going to judge you if you wanted to dress it up a little bit. In terms of the dimensions, the case has a 45 millimeter diameter. The bezel is a bit smaller than that at 42.3 millimeter diameter. The thickness is 13.3 millimeters. This has a solid stainless steel screw-down case back, which displays that cool Seiko Tsunami Wave, which represents its 200-meter water resistance rating. The lug width on this is 22 millimeters. It has a cushion-style case that actually makes it look like a turtle shell, hence the name, and provides that retro look to the entire watch. The cushion case itself acts as a crown guard for the 4 o'clock crown. It has a flat black dial, which in some light almost looks like a very dark charcoal. It's very unique, very cool dial. On it is printed in gold the Seiko logo, the Prospex logo, automatic and divers 200 meter. The general hour markers are white loom dots. At 6 and 9 o'clock you have more of a rectangular marker, and at 12 o'clock it has that very cool sword and shield styled marker, which I really love. At 3 o'clock we have a day date window. It has black text on a white background, but as Seiko does for many of their watches, you get a surprise on Saturday and Sunday because the Saturday text is in blue, the Sunday text is in red. Love that. There is a black chapter ring around the dial with printed gold markers at every minute. The hands of this watch are very cool. Each hand is different. We have a syringe style hour hand, an arrow style minute hand, and a lollipop style second hand. All of these have polished gold accents which really stand out. The bezel is painted black with gold, and the paint has a metallic quality to it that reflects the light and makes that gold shine. Just like the Seiko SKX, the glass and bezel are perfectly flat, and the way they're raised off the case makes it look like a window on a vintage dive helmet. Also, just like the SKX, the gap between the glass and the dial, along with that angled chapter ring, provide a very cool depth effect to this watch. The band on this is a brushed oyster stainless steel 3-link with some polished accents just outside of the center links. My personal preference, I wish it was all brushed everywhere, but still it works well with the overall look. You can also get the Turtle on a silicone rubber dive strap. Okay, next let's talk comfort. This does have a large case. and that could be an issue for those who have a small wrist. I have a 7-inch wrist, and don't get me wrong, it is large on me, as you can see, but I really don't have any comfort issues with this watch whatsoever. Large cases can oftentimes mean the crown will dig into your skin. With this, because of the 4 o'clock position of the crown and the case really protecting the crown, I don't have any issues with this. The weight of this watch is 6.4 ounces or 181 grams. That's equivalent to 32 US quarters if you gathered those up to get an idea. I mean, it is a solid weight on your wrist, but a lot of that weight is in the bracelet itself. So it really isn't that bad. It's quite comfortable, honestly. Sometimes I do wear this on a NATO strap, and with that you do lose some of that weight, but the weight that is remaining is all on one side of the wrist, so it does have a tendency to feel a little imbalanced, but it's really not that big of an issue. It is a dive watch. You have to take that into consideration. The bracelet on this watch is awesome. It's very solid and robust, but it has very smooth links. It has a very solid push-button deployment clasp with a safety latch, solid end links. It's just all positives to say about the bracelet. With the dimensions of this, it's going to catch on your cuff. I have worn it with a suit before as I was going for a bold style, and I did notice it catching on the cuff a lot. It just wasn't designed for formal application. It is a dive watch. But all in all, you will notice the size and the weight of this, but it's a very comfortable watch.
So bright, I cannot hide them. So heavy.
Okay, next is movement and accuracy. So unlike the Seiko SKX, Seiko upgraded the movement in this watch to Seiko's own 4R36, which is a very solid movement. It operates at 6 beats per second. It has a 41-hour power reserve. It's hackable. It's got hand winding. Regulation is possible. However, consider that this is an ISO certified dive watch, so opening the back of that watch is going to affect that. That's why I recommend the professional. In terms of accuracy, it's actually not disclosed by Seiko for this watch, but I would expect you can get within plus or minus 15 seconds per day. For me, I'm achieving 6 seconds per day slow, which is really good. Okay, now let's talk usability. So the Turtle is part of Seiko's Prospex line. Prospex is short for professional specifications, meaning any watch in the Prospex line is designed for professional use in either land, air, or sea application. This is of course a dive watch, so sea application. It is a 200-meter water resistance. It says divers right there on the dial. That means it's an ISO certified dive watch. What that means you can find in my written article over at watchspec.com. In terms of the lume, it applies Seiko's own LumiBright, which is very bright, lasts a long time, very clear. It has lume on all the hour markers, all the hands, and as well as the bezel. And with the shield design at 12 o'clock, understanding orientation in the dark is very easy. And in terms of readability, because of the gold accents on the hands and on the dial, it's very easy to understand the time just glancing down at your watch, just the way the light catches that gold. It's very cool. Okay, that brings us to value and verdict. When talking about the value of the Seiko Turtle, I compare it to the Seiko SKX. So basically these are the same watch, but the Seiko Turtle has some changes. Number one, the Turtle is part of the Prospex line. Number two is the case, which we talked about being that cushion style, which gives it that retro look. Also increases the diameter of this watch. Next is the movement. So the Turtle gets the upgraded movement, which is the 4R36. It adds manual wind and hacking, always a plus. Next is the bracelet. So you can see the bracelet is different. The SKX has the Jubilee. The Turtle has a oyster style and it has a better clasp on this. And then finally are the color options. So the Turtle just has more options than the SKX. The Turtle provides these upgrades for less than $100 over the SKX. To me, that's worth it. And with this watch being below $300, I mean, that's just a tremendous value for an ISO certified dive watch and all the functionality you get included in there. I know next time I go on a vacation to some tropical destination, I will be wearing this when I go snorkeling, mark my words. Now, if this is going to be your one and only dive watch in your collection, the Turtle may not work for you, just solely based on the retro appearance of this. For me, I have other dive watches like the SKX, so adding this just gives some variety in my collection. But I can say after owning this for over a year and wearing it regularly, I love this watch. I love this watch, and I've gotten my money's worth out of it for as much as I've worn it and appreciated it. If you are interested in this watch, you can find a product link in the notes below. For those outside of the US, if you follow the links through my written review, it will take you directly to your local store. If you have any questions, you can contact me through my website, watchspec.com, or you can just leave a comment below. But I have a question for you. What do you guys think about the retro look of this? And how do you feel this compares to the Seiko SKX? Tell me in the comments below. Please give this video a like if you found it helpful. And remember, please subscribe to the channel and sign up for notifications so you can catch all my videos when they release. And guys, with that, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.